So this morning, Gary Black posted a new list of his potential catalysts for Tesla. I'm going to go over his list and my response. If you don't know who Gary Black is, he is a regular poster on X. He's very highly respected by the Tesla community. Has major investments in Tesla, in SpaceX, I believe also in possibly in Boring Company and in X as well. I think even Neuralink. I believe that he runs a fund, and I believe he has investments in all of those. I could be wrong, but I think that's true. I do know that his number one holding in his fund is Tesla, or generally speaking, it is his number one holding. All right, so I'm going to, this is Randy Kirk. Hit like and subscribe, do all those things you know how to do. We will have, of course, a regular news show later this afternoon. We have the Sunday night, which we call Monday morning. So on Sunday night, we do Monday morning, which talks about what are all of the reports and various things that are coming out in the future week that will potentially affect the stock market as well as specifically Tesla. That is usually one of the most popular programs of the entire week. So hit notify if you want to be reminded of those upcoming adventures. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to definitely talk to you about some changes that I'm going to be making with regard to content that I think will be useful for many of you. All right, let's start with Gary's positive catalysts. These I generally agree with. Number one, he has the Cybertruck launch will produce a halo effect for core Tesla, for the core Tesla franchise. So in other words, the Tesla launch will, the Cybertruck launch will not only be effective in terms of the actual numbers and dollars that are involved in the future profits, but there will be a halo effect because this product is going to be out there and photographed so much, and there'll be so much publicity about it, and so many headlines, et cetera, and that just the very nature of the beast, the size, the scope, the newness, the freshness, the space age aspects, all those things will just cause lots and lots of people to pay attention to Tesla who may not have paid attention until now. Not the least of which will be the fact that it's a truck, and there's an entire category of purchasers out there of vehicles that would not look at a sedan or an SUV. They definitely want or need a truck. So there's the halo effect that he's talking about. Now, I would go way further than Gary and talk about the actual things like the very first review, a third-party review of any significance. That will have an effect positively or negatively. If it's a negative review, not so great. But I'm expecting incredibly positive reviews coming out about the Cybertruck, and those will be, I believe, will have catalytic effects as well. Some of those reviews may not even be of the truck itself. They will be reviews by analysts who will be talking about the impact of the first few weeks or first few months of the Cybertruck being out there. Okay, number two will be, he says, Highland pent-up demand in the fourth quarter. So in other words, he's saying that because people have been waiting for the Model 3 refresh, and because of the response so far to the Model 3 refresh, that it's an outstanding vehicle, that you will see a lot of demand for it in the fourth quarter, I would say, and going forward. And we'll start to see some of those numbers. We'll start to see some of that impact. And then as people get the idea of how many they can make and how many they can sell and the prices at which they're going to sell, and there's very likely going to be any kind of downward pressure on pricing, maybe even allowing for some upward pricing. All of those things could help the stock in the fourth quarter. And again, I'm adding and following. He didn't say and following, but we'd start in the fourth quarter, which of course is only 2 days away, 1 day away, starts tomorrow. All right, number three on his list. Fourth quarter volume could exceed 500,000 total vehicles of all types. That is really bullish for Gary Black. He's usually much more moderate in his expectations. I do think there's a chance that we could hit 500,000 because of the lower number that we're expecting next week on Monday morning. But I do think 500,000 is a possible number. But I do think that's aggressive. I think that's an aggressive number, but a possible number. I'll give him that. Okay. Next, number 4, I think, on his list is Tesla auto gross margins bottoming in the third quarter. He says because the M3 price hike, Model 3 price hike, and the Model Y prices being stable, even though he doesn't mention it, but there's been decreases in the X and the S, which are a small proportion of the total business. So all of those things, he's making it all about the pricing. I'm saying what he's missing here is the cost reductions that Tesla has obviously been having, and the margins, therefore, in the third quarter, in 3 weeks, when we get the information, I think we're going to be having a surprise on the upside. So I'm sorry, Gary. Yeah, okay. He's saying that he thinks that it will be bottoming out. All right. There's more about this in a minute. He says a number, I forget how many, it's not numbered here, at least one FSD licensing deal likely. I agree there's a licensing deal likely. I'm not sure that I would put this in the list. He is not giving it a quarter, fourth quarter, first quarter, second quarter. But when it happens, obviously it's going to be a massive catalyst. But boy, that's again, kind of a bullish one for him. He's actually had this on his list for a while. But the fact that there's conversations is a long way from having a deal. But I agree it will be a catalyst. He says energy will be blowing away estimates. Well, there we go. I'm 100% agreeing on that one. He, again, does not put a timeline on that. I'm saying at the end of the first quarter. So the April print, that will be when energy will really start to show itself, and people will start to include it in their estimates of what Tesla's valuation should be. And then he says FSD level 4 sometime in 2024. Okay, level 4, level 5. I don't think Elon is not shooting for level 4. He is definitely shooting for go to sleep in the back seat. And so I don't know why Gary's saying level 4, but he's saying sometime in 2024. I would say that that's a pretty good bet. And I will go along with that. I'll just say that's all I got to say. But I would add these to the list. I don't know why these are not on his list. The beginning of production of Optimus in November, 30 days or so from now. Elon has promised the beginning of Optimus production and has hired 53 people to do that, in addition to the ones that are already on staff. No, I think there's going to be Optimus production, whatever that means, in November, and we will see more evidence of Optimus production and what that really means going into the first quarter. And I think it's a massive catalyst. Okay, and why it's not even on the list. Doesn't even mention Optimus. Number 2 on my list, in addition to his list, Generation 3 major update in early 2024. Doesn't mention Generation 3 at all, not even for the year. He doesn't even say Generation 3 reveal in 2024. He's got FSD in all of 2024. Why doesn't he mention a Gen 3 reveal in 2024 as a catalyst? I think it'll happen a long time before that, because unless we're completely wrong, they are building this car in Austin, and therefore I think we will begin to see cars July, August. That's when I think we'll begin to see maybe even a handoff in August or September, sometime in that area. I think we'll begin to see cars. So I don't know why he doesn't even. I think you're going to have a reveal way before that. I don't know. All right. My next one is beginning of construction at Reno before the end of 2023. All right, might be the first quarter of 2024. I'll take either one. But I think based on some new information today, I think we're going to see construction at Reno before the end of 2023. And he doesn't list it at all, doesn't see it as a catalyst, apparently, or just didn't list it, or thought he had enough. I don't know. Announcement of U.S. production of the M3 Plus, the Model 3 Plus. We need the Model 3 Plus to be made in the United States. If we're really going to see Model 3s go crazy, we need the Plus to be done here. Elon said it wasn't hard. Therefore, I think first quarter at the latest. I'd like to see it before then, but I'm saying at the latest quarter, it'll start in the first quarter of 24. And he doesn't even have it on the list. And then maybe one of the biggest ones of all is the announcement of the production of Model Y Plus. Why is this one of the biggest ones? And I know I left it till last, but this is very, very big. Listen to me. This is the first time I've said this as clearly as I'm saying it now, but I will definitely be bringing this up over and over again. If we want to make 500,000 more Model Ys in 2024, and some people are talking about 2024 being a skip year in terms of the growth of the company, the growth is going to come, if for no other reason, it'll come because they add all of this new stuff that's in June that was in Model 3. They add it all to Model Y, and that dramatically increases the demand for Model Y. And all of a sudden, you can get the other 250,000 out of Austin and the other 250,000 out of Berlin, and potentially even more out of Austin than that. So that is really, really important for next year. He has it nowhere on his list. I just can't figure it out. All right, Gary has these negatives, and I have comments on pretty much every one of them. So his negative is third quarter delivery is still likely to be a miss. Of course, we find that out in 2 days. His estimate is 445,000 for shipments versus 455 for the street. And I think he's right. I think 445, 450, could be 455. Don't know. Have no idea. It's going to completely have to do with the drawdown on inventory. So everybody's guessing. You can't tell me that anybody has a clue on what this number is going to be, because it all comes down to inventory draw. And of course, even the production number is a little bit sketchy this time. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, but I totally agree that I think there's going to be a perceived miss. I don't think it'll affect the stock that much. I think it's already in there. All right, number 2 on the list of negatives, third quarter auto gross margins may still be too high. So he said above that he thought this would be the bottom of the margin issue. He's estimating 17.6 versus Wall Street's 18.1 and Randy's 19 or higher. Okay, so there you go. That's my. I think we'll have a surprise to the upside. So I think that's all I need to say about that. His next one, global EV adoption seems to be stalling with interest rates rising. I'm completely confused by this one. It makes no logical sense. Interest rates are impacting ICE cars and BEVs identically. So no, the interest rates are not going to affect BEVs. Is there a slowdown in adoption? No, we have more than a 50% increase worldwide this year in 2023 compared to last year. We have California at almost 25% take rate. He points, I think, I'm not sure he does. Somebody today was pointing to the fact that some of the U.S. States are down around 2 or 3%. Yeah, that's the opportunity. That's where it's going to come next. Anyway, I left one out above. I'm very, very sorry. If oil prices stay high, that's a catalyst. It's going to affect the stock. If oil prices stay high, you had a major NBA or I forget who it was today, did a little video of himself at a pump in California, at a gas pump in California, paying $140 for less than 20 gallons of gas. And that went viral. So yeah, see that kind of stuff, that's going to help the stock. Okay. He says that full year 23 and full year 24, Tesla estimates are still declining. He's meaning that the estimates by analysts on the street, by the major companies that have analysts, they are declining. They've gone down 1.2% in the past 30 days. This will impact the stock short term, but has no impact on the fundamentals. These are just estimates. And yeah, I agree. These kind of statements by these analysts do affect the stock price. And then he says further Tesla pricing risk, meaning, that Tesla could drop the prices further in 2024. I don't think so. I've said this before. Let me just say it again. I think that Elon Musk took his pedal off the metal. He said he was going to be all out. He's going to make as many cars as he possibly could in 2023. I don't think he did. I think he definitely said, you know what? There is just not enough demand this year to uptake all of these cars that we could make. So let's stop at 2 shifts in Berlin. I think they may have more shifts in Austin. I'm not 100% sure. Whatever it is, all the lines aren't going. I think, if I remember right from what Brian White said, that they don't even have all the lines fully going in Austin yet. Maybe even that's true in Berlin, much less all the shifts that they could possibly have. So no, I think they pulled back, and I think that they will be very, very cautious about how they increase those production numbers in 2024 based on demand. But if we have Juniper, then we'll have plenty of demand. So anyway, that's my thinking. All right. And then he says, possible additional Mexico further delays. I think not. The articles I'm reading right now seem to suggest that maybe the water was the big thing and that maybe that is now behind us. And maybe we could see Mexico begin to get the permitting done and get us on the way. And now I had one more negative. This is one that nobody's talking about. I think that FSD, if it doesn't happen by the end of the second quarter, the natives are going to get restless. That's just me. I think there'll be progress. I think there'll be better and better improvements on FSD. But if there's not a full-on V12, if there's not a full-on, okay, we're ready to go by the end of the second quarter, I just think people are going to start to get restless. And I think there will be a tendency to, how long can people continue to believe if it doesn't happen? All right, that's the list. Tell me what you think. Comments below. Any of those items that you think I'm wrong, he's wrong, you've got additional information that would be valuable, because I am getting ready to do another comment video where I'll take the best comments that I've seen, the ones that are most interesting, and we'll go through those and talk about those on a YouTube video. Love your comments, by the way. Oh my gosh, the networking alone is worth it for this channel. But let me tell you how I want to make it even more worth it for my income. All right, I've decided to do something that I talked about doing, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago on Patreon in terms of reporting the news there. I already spend 3 to 4 hours a day going through the news. That's like a minimum that I am going through news. I have a list of, I just go through this, and then I go through this, and then I go through this. And I'm constantly going through these lists and looking at the updates from all these different news sources. And then I analyze it. I try to get that in my brain and say, okay, how can I extrapolate from what I know? How can I connect the dots? How can I interpolate from all that information and draw conclusions? And that's what I do all day long, every day, 7 days a week. Fun, right? I mean, it is. Trust me, it's really actually fun. But then I realized I take that information, I do 3 videos a day, but why wouldn't I be able to just pop up like 3 to 4 at the most news articles per day with my commentary into Patreon on the things that I just think are worth like throwing up there. Patreon members are not going to want to get inundated all day long, like 12, 15, 20, different articles all day long. But getting the highlights, the ones that I see that I think are the most important in terms of Tesla and the stock, throwing those up 3, 4 times a day, and maybe some days it'll be 5. But anyway, that's what I'm intending to do. And I'm not going to restrict it to $10 or $5 or, it doesn't matter what level you're at, whatever level you're in, you'll get that news. Okay. So that's my new thing that I'm going to do there. I'm still going to offer, you can still get your Cybertruck. Your cyber opener, you get that if you join at the $10 level. Please let me know whether you want the camo or whether the camo up there, see it on the shelf, or whether you want the stainless steel. And then, of course, if you want to buy these separately, the numbers have blown my mind for the first month. It's been an incredible first month. And now I'm getting repeat orders. So people are getting them and going, yeah, I see that. I can see where I can hand that away as a gift to employees, to buyers, to friends, to family, to anybody that's kind of even slightly interested in the whole Tesla experience and or the future of Tesla, specifically the Cybertruck. So $25 each, information all below in the comments, or not the comments, in the description. That's it. That's what I got to say for the midday. Be sure to come back later today. We're going to do the Tesla news, all of the news that was fit to talk about later this afternoon. It's been great talking to you. If you don't mind, I do want to pitch my little device here. I have these little devices for $25. You can't believe how cool this is. Look at how thick the stainless. I mean, holy mackerel! It comes in. It comes in a camo as well. It's a can opener. I mean, I'm sorry, not a can opener, a bottle opener. So you got your bottle opener here too, and it's got a magnet on the back, so you can slap it up on your fridge. I mean, is this good or what? So anyway, you just send $25 to my PayPal account. It's down in the information below. Just click on there. You can send it 20. Now, if you're out of the country, I got to charge you an extra $20 for freight. So, or if you join my Patreon, I'll give you one at the $10 level. I'll give you one for free.
Click the link below to get your paperback, Kindle, or audiobook now.